everybody. It's Saturday. Hi, Anna. Okay,
Hello.
if you're watching right now, you're probably friends with either Anna or me, or friends with both of us. Let's say hello, salamat sa time. Putting the time to like give this a look. This is kind of an experiment between the both of us. Parang a few nights ago na pag-usapan namin na because we both enjoy podcasts in our free time. So and generally then we like just talking to each other about stuff. Mostly mostly yung magiging topic natin today, which is love. Love and
Yeah.
relationships.
Who doesn't like talking about romance though and love?
Hmm. Hmm. I think it's fertile ground, and I think na hindi lang naman kaming dalawa yung interested to talk about stuff like this. So anyway, give you guys a background or some brief information about sino kaming dalawa. We both met sa isang mountaineering club back in 2017, 4 years ago. Tapos, I guess the personality split kasi we became friends and good friends at that. So, and then 4 years later, here we are creating this podcast or experimenting with the idea of a podcast.
Yeah, and Gail pointed this out earlier while we were practicing. 2 years of our friendship has been spent during a pandemic. And what's funny is that I think we became much more closer and clingier, even if we're not seeing each other physically. And it feels very effortless to keep the connection constant. And it's like we're each other's jowa every day. As in, Gail has a habit of greeting us like in the morning and at night before she goes to bed, even if nobody asked for it.
Even if walang pumapansin sa akin. Because I belong to a number of chat groups. Tapos, alam mong extrovert ako kasi ako yung bumabati ng good morning, good night, happy weekend, ganyan. How are you guys doing? How's life? Ganyan. Tapos, hindi na nila ako papansinin. Pero okay lang, gagawin ko pa rin siya.
Yeah, so you don't naman feel bad or rejected, right? Sorry.
I don't know. Most of my friends are introverts. So, tanggap ko na ayaw nila akong kausapin most of the time.
Don't worry, it happens to me also.
Like, ay, mga biglaan, hello, ganyan. Dapat may time and space for that, for introverts.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, it's nothing personal. Like, it also happens to me. Like, I send a message to my high school barkada group chat. Like, parinig. And then nobody responds. It's like okay. Fine. Okay lang yan.
Yeah, I feel like parang important connection growing through whatever means possible. And ito na yung easiest means sa ngayon because it's a pandemic and we can't really go out that much. So, yeah. Buti na lang may video yung chat. Ganyan.
Yeah, this is actually the first time we're going on video in a long time. And Gail has been trying to set up group calls and not that we're not game naman. I don't know. But it's happening. So
kailan naganap yung last group call natin nung Christmas pa ata? So Christmas na uli. Malapit na. Mga ilang buwan na lang.
Yeah.
Group call na tayo uli.
Yeah, may energy na kami for sure. Like, I have energy.
Talaga. Talaga lang. Hindi ako asa. Joke lang.
Okay, so what our first question is, what are your relationship patterns?
Mm. It's ako ba? Ako ba muna?
Yes, you can go first.
Okay. Let's see. I've got a number of parang characteristics sa pattern ko in terms of relationships. The one thing that parang really comes to mind is parang I tend to be I tend to be drawn to people who aren't interested in me. which as you can surmise, it's not a lot of fun. Ganyan. Pero it's very parang filled with anxiety, excitement.
How do you know that
Because
they're not interested in you?
they're straight.
Pero type mo sila. So you chat to them because you just want to be friends.
Oo ba? Oo.
Friends lang.
Magpapakit ka din. Hahanash ka din.
Okay.
Meron namang study na wala talagang babaeng straight eh.
Okay, but how do you... Okay, I'm not sure if this is okay to ask, but how do you know if they have the same like orientation as you? Like without asking.
Without asking.
Yeah, is it like do you actually can you feel it?
Do I have gaydar?
Yeah.
I don't think I have gaydar. And plus yung parang there's this thing na parang I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. Parang pag may type ka, parang feeling mo type ka rin niya. On some level.
Diba? Kaya nga ganun din ako eh. Like medyo makapal mukha ko. Dati.
Dati. Ngayon.
Ayan, yeah. We'll talk about more of that later. But yeah, like me also, like I probably won't connect with a person if I don't feel like they also like me back on some level. And if I like them enough, then they will know. Ganun ako. So that is a relationship pattern of mine. Like I am or used to be very aggressive. And I say used to be because I've learned from my past relationships, and now meron na akong preno. May preno na ako. I don't just like accelerate.
How do you let them know in the past? Parang paano pinapaalam?
Well, I tell them like straight. I'm very straightforward about it.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Talaga? Sige nga, paano sabihin? Like in person, ganyan.
Well, of course, it's not like I will tell them like in the first instance, but I normally kasi have a hard time doing small talk with people I don't vibe with. So for me to be able to talk to you, that says a lot about how I like you. Kasi if hindi kita feel, mahirapan ako to engage with the person. So the fact that I'm talking to you and asking you questions and responding, it already says a lot. And I won't be like hiya to initiate things or ask things. And if it in a context of dating, I'd be the type to ask out the person first.
Gets.
And if I feel comfortable enough, I will actually say it to the person, like to his face, na gusto ko siya. Ganun ako.
Is it something that could decide or over that decision to tell the person?
Well, before, it really just felt instinctive to me. Like, kasi nga, feel ko nga gusto rin nila ako.
Okay.
Kaya, ang confident ko na para, oy, I like you like me, edi game, right? But then, now, I'm much more careful or cautious about that. Like I as much as possible mirror or match how the person behaves towards me. But if I find the person
That's
creepy,
interesting.
if I find the person creepy and too forward,
Uh-uh.
hindi ko yan i-entertain. So,
Right.
yan.
Wait, I've got a question pala. And okay lang if sagutin mo or kahit hindi mo sagutin, okay lang.
Okay.
Parang, let's say na nagtapat ka nga dun sa tao. Tapos, hindi positive yung reaction. Does that happen to you? And how did that play out?
That has not happened to me. Just kidding. That's how good my track record is. Ako na. Just kidding. No.
Lakas ah.
Yeah, actually kasi nga, for me to be able to start something, a connection, I would have to feel that the person kind of likes me back. That's why yung track record ko is medyo I don't know, like 95% maybe.
Yeah.
But now like during present times, like if like a person did not respond the same way, I don't really feel bad about it because because I know that I'm not expecting anything in return, and that's how I wanna go about like relationships or dating right now. Parang kumbaga, whatever, like if ayaw mo, diwag, like, I don't care. Parang ganon. And I think I'm at this point where I'm trying to work on myself, and building my confidence so that whatever happens, like it's easy for me to just drop things and move on and walk away when I have to. But before kasi, like our relationship pattern I had was that I would easily get attached to people, or rather the idea of being with the person before even trying to get to know who the person really is. Kasi I have there are certain personality types that I'm very attracted to, as in they're kumbaga weakness ko sila. Like I'm into people who remind me of myself and who have similar hobbies, interests, and advocacies. So, yung diba yung emoji na may heart? Pag
may heart sa mata?
Yung may heart sa mata. Like, naano talaga ako, like, wow, parang, oh my gosh, like, he's so cool, or he's so, yeah. So, masyado akong nahuhulog dun sa fantasy that I have in my mind without really taking a look at the qualities that matter in relationships. Because, the personality types, like, yung hobbies nila and interests nila, they're all very superficial. Like, which I thought were not superficial before. Parang, apparently, there's more to being in a relationship than just common interests.
This reminds me pala of parang another pattern that I've got. And it's a very, parang in all my relationships, I think all my relationships, parang ganito yung ginagawa ko. Parang I set out wanting to like explore the dating scene. Or in other words, parang meet a lot of different people, like, tapos not get into a relationship agad. But parang I hook up, or parang I get into a serious relationship with like the first person who shows interest. Ganyan, that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So parang yung alam mo yung lesbian cliche na parang it's yung U-Haul, parang by the second date, yung mga lesbians, nag-U-Haul na sila, or in other words, they move in together by the second date. And parang, that's like, my dating history is that fucking cliche.
Wait,
Tapos,
wait.
Ngayon,
Go ahead. why do you think you had that response? Like yung tipong nagka-opening din, occupy agad.
Yeah. Alam mo, hindi ko alam um, yung actual na sagot. Pero I've got a number of theories. Parang one is, parang I don't want to be rejected. Parang that's always painful. So parang, when I've got parang disconnection na with this person, parang ayoko maghiwalay kami, ganyan. Although, if I wanted to like date around, that's exactly what I had to do. Parang not be attached agad to this one person and then like try parang see different people if I could. Ganyan. Pero, isa pa, yung parang, I don't know parang despite stepping out with this objective of like meeting different people, when I get connected with this one person, parang my brain invents or thinks of reasons why this person and I are perfect for each other forever. You know?
Gets.
Or kung hindi forever, parang for a long-term thing, ganun. And I don't know why my brain does that, but it does, and it has always done that so far.
Like maybe because we think that having a connection is so rare that, sayang parang we can't just give up on something that's real. Because I think me, like ever since, like I've always been into meaningful connections because I do have a hard time managing like surface level relationships and like doing small talk. So I'm the type na if I'm gonna be friends with you, I'm really gonna be your friend. As in like yung talagang yung my definition of a friend is deep. Kasi ganun akong tao. So ayun nga. And if I pay attention to you, then it must mean that you're someone pretty special. So ganun. Pero I think that that's not always the case. Like parang I think I picked this up from Marrying Susan Winter or some other like Instagram account like yung Art of Dating NYC na we think that there are only a few connections, but actually it's not true. That's not reality. Or parang you think that the person's so nice, pero actually a lot of people are nice, right? So
parang, not necessarily na this person is extra special, ganyan, and perfect for you, ganyan ba?
Oo. Parang it could also have something to do with our upbringing, like how we were raised, like what is familiar, like what feels familiar to us. That's why we're drawn to them. Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, right? There are times wherein like me personally, I get praying that maybe I'm attracting people who are actually not healthy for me because that's what I'm used to or that's what I'm familiar with. Yun. So kaya right now I know that it happens or that's possible. That's why I'm very careful also like with the people who I allow in my life.
It's okay to ask. Parang how are you doing things differently this time around?
Maybe like before, instead of thinking or worrying or being concerned about if a person likes me back, I try to think first if I even like this person. If that person is worthy of me versus am I worthy to be with that person? So I try to put myself on a more like empowering position wherein I don't put the person I like on a pedestal. Kasi nga, meron akong pattern before na pag ganito sila, like, oh my gosh, like, siya na. so, I'm trying to level the playing field and ground the people so that hindi sila yung nasa pedestal. And it's me who has to be prioritized. And my needs are the ones that need to be prioritized because I also, like, another relationship pattern I had before was I unknowingly compromised on standards as I went on from relationship to relationship, thinking that I was being shallow or needy for having these standards. But, you know, it's actually not bad to have I mean, you're supposed to have standards, and just like having needs doesn't make you a needy person. It just makes you a person who has your own needs and wants. Yun, so parang martyr ba ako? Like, baka I thought that parang kumbaga I was out there to please people, but did I ever really think about how I wanted to be pleased also, and if the person could meet those needs, and if I can even how I can effectively communicate that and set the boundaries in a healthy way. Because I guess that was a challenge that I've always had, was I didn't know how to properly communicate that. I mean, I think I knew I had them, but I didn't trust myself enough to have that conversation with the other person, because probably I was afraid that I wouldn't like the response or that I would feel rejected. You know, I think it's okay kasi parang you don't know you don't know naman how they're going to respond to you, right? If you have a conversation about it, and if they don't agree or are not on the same page as you, then wala, edi goodbye. Diba? Instead of staying in the relationship, right?
Parang that's one thing, that's another pattern for me. Something I find very difficult. Parang breaking up when you're supposed to break up. Breaking up, let's say, that's breaking up when it's an unhealthy relationship. It's really parang, it's not something I do then. Parang, I think parang the breakups I've had have mostly been initiated by my partners at the time. Kaya siya natutuloy, you know.
Would you rather you would rather that they initiated the breakup? Or yeah, that's would you rather be the person who does the breaking up, or you'd rather be on the receiving end?
I'm not sure if parang both are difficult positions to be in for me. Pero I would rather na my relationship didn't last as long as they did. I wish I could have, or we could have ended it sooner. You know?
I think for me, like, yes, breaking up is never easy, right? Like for any person, like like the reason why it takes a while for me to initiate. Well, actually, in my past, in almost all of my past relationships, I'm the one who initiated the breakup, but it takes me a while before I get to that decision, because I'm the type that if I feel like there's still a chance, or it can still be worked on, or there is a solution, then I will fight for it, because I don't feel like we've done enough to make the relationship work. But I think the problem with that is like I can think that way, but does the other person think that way also? Because if it's just you who wants to fight for it or find the solution for it, then it's going to be hard on your end because you're the one who's going to end up being disappointed and more angry and hurt in the relationship. So I think yeah, it's really important to know if the other person is with you on that also. And if they're not, then that should already be the sign for me to let it go. And that's how it has always happened then I think for me. Like I always didn't feel like the person was in it anymore. So why would I want to continue making the effort? All these relationship patterns, what is the most important lesson you learned and how has this shaped your perspective on dating going forward, especially now that we're in a pandemic?
Ikaw naman mauna.
Okay. Okay, well, this is okay. My main takeaway is just because you like each other or feel a connection, whatever, it doesn't mean a relationship can work. So I think I mentioned it earlier. The just because you have the same interests or you have chemistry, having a relationship is a totally different ball game. Like I learned that there are different skills or qualities you need to keep a solid relationship, and the circumstances you are in need have a factor. And if you're not aligned on that, or you don't have the same priorities, or you don't agree on the same things, then the relationship will not work out. And ito and you can't force a person to be on the same page as you. Like even
really? We can't force people? Yeah. I think we can. Joke lang, we can.
Oo nga naman, diba? So you know the saying that it takes two to tango. Like I feel like it should be revised to it takes two people on the same page to tango. Because if you're not coordinated, then ang gulo-gulo ng lahat. Diba? Yeah, and it's
what
important.
Does it mean pala for you? Parang what does that mean? Parang being on the same page.
Like you both have the same pace when it comes to the relationship. Like for example, like I feel like I'm still in the getting to know you phase. So the person has to be with me on that. We're still just trying to both get to know each other. Hindi yung mas advanced yung isa. Like or kumbaga, if I mean, it's possible that two people might not be on the same page. I think it's still possible for one person to match the person's pace, as long as the person wants to, and it doesn't feel like forced to do that, and the other person is not putting pressure also on the other person. Kumbaga, it has to come naturally to both people to want to wait for each other or align or meet at the same point.
This makes me want to ask you, parang how quickly do you commit? How quickly do you commit?
Okay, well, yun nga, in the past, sabi nga natin, di ba, pag nagkaroon ng opening, Agad. Pasok agad.
Kasi ako agad-agad eh.
Ganon din ako.
Parang, you're mine! Parang, second date, you're mine!
Yeah,
Together, forever!
Like, oy, gusto mo ako? Gusto kita? Adi game, tayo na.
tayo na. Shit.
Akala ko ganun eh.
Ako din eh. Hindi ba ganun? Hindi pala ganun, no?
Hindi pala. I never understood what it meant to make things official, or what was the difference between exclusively dating and being boyfriend-girlfriend, ganyan. Hindi ko alam yung difference. So, parang, akala ko parang, like, edi, tayo na, edi siya na, kasi kami na yung nagde-date eh. So, bakit pa kailangan ng stages or ng levels, or bakit pa kailangan pag-usapan or ganun. And, pwede naman, I think, like, it's okay if that's where you are, or that's how you think, as long as the other person thinks that way also. Diba? Kasi I think in the past, like, probably people I've dated did not, maybe they didn't think that way, and I didn't even think of asking or even checking if that's also how they felt. But I just assumed na parang, ito na.
So, were you in that, or have you ever been in that situation na may disconnect between your expectations and the other person's expectations?
Yes, I would have to say that all the relationships that I've had.
Amazing! 100%! Congrats.
Kaya nga relationship pattern. Yeah, parang,
huwag ka mag-alala ako din. Like, oh my God. Go on.
Like, kasi, yun nga, parang, I think a lot of my relationship patterns have something to do with my upbringing, and being brought up like in a very conservative Catholic environment. I thought that people got into relationships because they wanted something meaningful. Like, I didn't think there was any other option. Being the sheltered girl that I am, I just assumed that that's how things were. But I didn't know that there are people who are not as conservative or who do not have the same values and just see dating as something else. Like, for them, it doesn't have to be meaningful in the start. Like, they just want it casual, and they're okay with not defining it. And I think that was confusing for me before, na parang, yun nga, kasi nga, we like each other naman eh. So, bakit ayaw mo siya i-define? So I really didn't get it. Like, why do you have to wait? Why do you have to plan yung proposal? Or like, why do you have to plan out when you're gonna ask me to be your girlfriend, ganyan? And then, parang, sige, whatever. And then, I was just so attached to the idea of being together na hindi ko naisip na. And that the time that lapsed, it's possible na I probably didn't actually feel like I was really that compatible with the person. But since I was so stuck or so committed to the idea of being together, na nakalimutan ko lahat yun. Na parang even if hindi ko na siya feel, parang sige, nag-commit na lang din ako. Nang ganun. Oh my gosh.
Gets and can relate.
And I didn't naman also feel like leaving the person, so parang I just went with it. So because given all those relationship patterns that I had and the lessons that I learned, right now I am actually trying to slow down myself on purpose. Kasi I know that I have that tendency to act on impulse without really thinking of the consequences.
Yes,
medyo ganun pa rin ako. But I'm aware of it. That's why that's something that I'm trying to manage.
How are you doing that, if it's okay to ask?
Well, I try to refocus myself and try not to let myself get distracted by Hanash. Because I make sure that I identify what my priorities are and that all the things that I need to do contribute to those priorities.
What are your priorities currently?
Like, for example, since we're on lockdown, we're in a pandemic, I mean, there's nothing much we can do outside of our homes, right? But I guess for me, I'm working on my health and building my confidence and feeling secure about like my career, my growth, and money.
Me too.
Parang,
Go on.
yeah, kasi before, I just wanted to have fun. Diba? Ewan ko, parang tumanda ako. Tumanda ako bigla.
Nitong pandemic kaya?
Yeah, and well, it's also, I recently entered my 30s. And, things just changed. Like, without even me planning them. Parang it just happened. Like, all of a sudden, nag-iba yung perspective ko and point of view on life. Like, especially during the pandemic, like, you realize, like, what's more important, what's essential, what are the connections that you want to keep, and what you need to let go and focus on. Kasi not everybody has the bandwidth to take on so much. Diba? So parang some things aren't worth it anymore. And it's nice because I feel like it's a sign that I'm healing and I'm more mature now when it comes to managing like my emotions. I am able to take the time to reflect on my actions and not just do things because I feel like it. Although sometimes I do that, and it's fine. I just make sure that the benefits, or rather, the consequences don't outweigh the benefits. I was gonna say that I'm not really like looking for a serious relationship. I mean, it's not that I don't want it. I mean, I want it, obviously. But it's not something I'm gonna chase after or force. Force nga. I'm not gonna force it. Kasi,
we can force people. Joke la. Go on.
Pilitin. Kasi nga, ganun nga, diba, dati, yung the relationship patterns, had a lot of push and pull. Tapos parang nakapagod eh. So, like, ayoko na mag-push. So, I just wanna let things be. Yan. Kasi nga, diba, it's cliche as it may sound, like, hindi daw yan hinahanap, dumarating lang. So, I wanna trust that it's gonna happen for you at the right time. And I'm not gonna, like, try to force the situation. Yun lang. How about you?
I'm not dating anybody right now. I'm not talking to anybody. Wala akong hanash right now. Tapos, honestly, I don't feel confident na parang if I were to get into a thing with somebody, parang I don't feel confident na I will actually do things differently this time around. Feeling ko there's a big chance I'd still fall into the same patterns. Like parang that yung emotional intensity, and then it will lead to me doing things or saying things or committing to things na I might regret in hindsight. Ganun. So, that's where I am right now. I don't feel confident na I'll do things differently. So, yeah. I guess parang okay din lang for me to not be dating anybody right now.
Yeah.
Pero pag may dumating, tapos, oh my God,
Pasok.
Sparks flying. Okay. Yes. Let's get married today. Ganyan. Second date, let's move in together. Yeah, ganun. Malamang gaganon. Gaganunin ko na naman. Holy shit.
Oh, I understand that. Like, I think it's an ongoing process. Like, ako rin naman parang, the triggers are still there. Like, I still feel the same things, but it's more of making sure that you have the controls in place so that you're able to regulate or manage the performance of the
Ano
relationship.
kayang controls mailalagay ko sa sarili ko, no? Sorry, go on.
Ayan, meron ka naman controls diba? Like, well, you have your support system, you have your friends to remind you.
I don't listen to my friends. Missing someone. Parang, I just ask for their opinion, but I don't really take their advice.
Okay, well, it's up to you naman. It's your decision. Pero at least, merong, may warning.
Tapos, bahala na kung tatagos siya sa brain ko.
Oo, bahala ka na.
Hindi, ganun. Para siguro pag nalugmok na ako sa putik at lusak, saka ako makikinig. Ganun.
Yeah, kasi mali mo, okay, what you decide on is okay naman pala. Kasi there are no like rules naman. It's different for everyone, right? And yun nga, for me, as long as you're both on the same page about it, okay lang yan. Yeah, well, for me rin naman, like, I've tried using dating apps during the pandemic, and it's for fun lang. But after hours and hours of swiping left, it's just not fun anymore. And yeah, I would rather spend my energy on myself and the relationships that I already have with people that make me feel safe and who enable my growth. Because I also believe that the only way that I can allow more love to enter in my life is if I fall in love with myself first.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably during that process, maybe the right person will appear or come along. Diba? So I think maybe when I was younger, there was a lot of pressure to find somebody and settle down and get married because I had this dream of wanting to get married and start a family like before I turn 30, ganyan. Because that's what society tells us is the right thing to do. But, we all know that that's not true, diba? It's not reality. It's not how things are anymore. So I think I've already accepted the fact that, it might not be for me, like right now. So okay lang, like, no pressure. Like, and I have had this conversation with a lot of people also. So, we're all on the same boat. And it's okay.
People your age din ba?
Yeah. People, yeah,
women your age din?
Both, like women and men as well. Like, they all feel like, parang hindi, tanggap na nila na parang, okay, baka hindi na ako magkakaroon ng asawa or ng anak. Maybe.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But, whatever happens. So, I think what's important is we still prioritize ourselves and what we want.
I think that's interesting. I mean, to me, kasi I'm a gay woman, because I've never really felt yung parang may particular pressure na nasi-feel yung mga babae sa Pilipinas, ganun ba? Ewan ko, yun ang
Yes. Yes. Like, I think I've always felt that because parang I knew that if I wanted to have kids, I had an expiration date. Meron akong body clock. And I thought that it was that easy. I thought that
Mm.
okay, like basta ganito yung life
Yeah.
plan ko. When I'm 27, I wanna be married na. Tapos when I'm 30, gusto ko may anak na ako. Pero hindi pala ganun.
Mm-mm. Gets.
It's not as simple as saying that this na that's something that you can achieve at that age. And doesn't mean that you
Mm.
still like I guess like it doesn't mean that I still can't make that happen
Mm.
naman. Pero
Mm.
baka nga it would be nice to relieve myself of the pressure kasi maybe the more I pressure myself, the more I get rattled, and the more I get distracted and not able to focus on what my goals really are.
Mm.
So it
How do you
feels
relieve that pressure, no?
it feels nice to be free of that pressure and
Mm.
feel comfortable with the fact that it's okay to just be yourself, and you don't have to be anybody else other than who you are right now.
I guess I can relate to that. Yung parang if I don't feel yung pressure to, I've never felt that pressure to start a family in the traditional sense. But I feel I can relate to like yung the pressure of parang expectations, say professional expectations at a certain age, ganyan. Tapos it's liberating to feel parang na I don't have to fulfill those expectations anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's also the same with relationships. Parang you don't have to put your best foot forward for the other person
Mm.
just for the sake of companionship or partnership. Parang you do things for yourself because you want to and because you're not expecting anything. Kasi I feel like it's better to come from a place of wholeness and love. Yeah, kasi that's what it's all about naman din.
Mm.
Yan.
I agree.
Yeah. Wait, did you already share your most important lesson?
Most important lesson. Um, most important lesson. Um, something along the lines of boundaries din. Boundaries. Or remembering to value yung what I want when I'm in a relationship or when I'm about to be in a relationship. Kasi I tend to throw all that out the window. To get into a relationship.
So, what do you think you need to do to change that?
Um, I think I should have something or things na I really, really love in my life or I really, really value in my life. Like ngayon, yung yung financial goals ko ngayon are, I think, pretty much paramount sa isip ko. Because I've done that before. Parang I've been in a relationship na I let that whole financial side crumble and masira siya in favor of a relationship. So So that's one thing. Parang I really and actually parang hindi pa nga ako natuto sa relationship experiences. The last relationship I was in was kind of similar. Parang it was parang medyo parang I could have been in a precarious situation din, financially speaking, and yet I still went into that relationship very eagerly. So yun, so this contributes to like yung idea ko ano parang if I'm in a similar situation, will I actually do things differently? Parang holy shit, I'm not sure. So yun, so anyway yun, so that's I mean hopefully na parang I'd really like value yung myself or my own things first over a relationship. Yan. Remains to be seen. Tingnan natin.
Exciting!
Oo ba? Exciting ba? Exciting.
Yeah, malay mo. Next year, ano na, kasal na, joke na.
Yan.
Okay. So I think that's all we have for today. I hope that you had fun listening to us and yeah.
Sana nakarelate kayo and may actually yun lang gusto ko. Sana nakarelate kayo. And found na parang if you've done parang kind of dumb things for love, parang you're not alone. Everybody
it's
does
okay.
things for love.
Kanya-kanyang buhay yan, it's fine. And just trust that things are going to be okay. Like
things are not gonna be okay. Joke lang. Yes. Things will be okay. Yes.
Oo, okay.
Go on. Sorry. Joke lang.
Yeah, hindi. Oo, okay. Okay din yun. Yan. To do this podcast because that's something as being creative and not being able to create something is what I feel like was lacking in my life for the past 3 years. So this is nice. Like I like this podcast and I hope it's something that we can continue because
yes, please.
I feel like it can also help me figure out my life plan down the road. Because malay mo, like we end up liking this and it becomes big and then it gives birth to other creative opportunities and then we end up pursuing them and nice. Like yeah. Kasi we've been talking about this for such a long time and we've had so many attempts already. Diba?
I'm so glad na tuloy ito. I think na really a creative thing to do. Something na hindi natin kailangan gawin pero gusto natin gawin.
Yes. Like I've always wanted to do this. I think even before the pandemic pa. Like because I love randomly like talking about life.
Stuff.
Engaging in conversations and sometimes when I listen to podcasts, feeling ko I'm part of the conversation also. Like I'm talking to them as well. But I'm just actually listening.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks everyone and I hope that we see you online more through this as we push out these like conversations.